So how is it that you want a game to be super complex, but you can't even execute A, B, C? You can't even repeat the entire Guilty Gear alphabet, but you want complex things. Most people can't execute the basics in very difficult games. It's not easy.
Does it make him bad? No. They gave Leo a command grab. Leo's got a RCable command grab. All this really does is turn his run through into the Xrd version. And you think he sucks in Strive? I found Leo to be much harder to play in Guilty Gear Strive in general, right? Yeah, I completely agree that Leo felt like his approach, and especially his ability to convert from the air and a lot of things, felt much more difficult in this game. You got zoned the fuck out really hard. Like, my God, especially by some characters. It is hard as hell to get in. And then as soon as you got in, you became a big threat because of side switch, because of projectile pressure and things like that, right? So anyone that played Leo, if you played him a whole bunch, you know this.
Yeah, that's true.
But here's my prediction, right? Here's my prediction. I think this goes a bit too far. In general, and there's other characters that have gone through some stuff that, you know, kind of makes sense. But as someone that put time into Leo, it's not the end of the world. I am just not a fan, genuinely not a fan, of removing options from characters. Especially just generally in a game that took a lot of things away from characters, just in comparison to the Guilty Gear, not even Xrd, the Guilty Gear Compendium, right? Game already has taken away elements and options from stuff. It was kind of dope to be like, hey, we took some stuff away from Leo. Yeah, but here you go. You got this.
So I want to touch on that, right? In terms of pulling moves away. So let's talk about this for a second, because this doesn't ever get looked at. And I want to put this out here right now. I said it earlier. It's fresh in my mind, and I'll say it again. So in regards to pulling away from the old kits, right? Let's take some things into consideration, right? Let's take some things into consideration. So I'm going to use my character as an example. I main Chip. For those of you guys that are new here, I main Chip, right? And Chip lost Find Me, which is his camouflage, and his teleports, okay? And for what it's worth, they changed his Gamma Blade, or his projectile, his clone, his shadow clone, right? They made it into a quarter circle forward input. So that's a whole new move altogether, right? So let's put that in perspective. And they also took away ShinKensou, which was his third part of his Rekka series, right? So let's look at this, right? Oh yeah, and we'll add to the mix that Gamma Blade is now a special cancelable move in strings. That he's never had that. They took that away from him after Guilty Gear X, because he used to be able to do that in Guilty Gear X. Okay, so we understand this, right? So now, let's talk about what inputs are freed up from this character, and let's consider that there's 5 buttons, you know, punch, kick, slash, hard slash, dust. There's 5 buttons, right? So, I lost teleport. That input is down, down, punch, kick, slash, hard slash, right? And for Xrd, but if you want to go for plus R reasons, we'll say dust, because he has dust teleport, right? There's also quarter circle back, punch, kick, slash, hard slash, dust, right? I'll also add one more thing. I forgot he has air, punch, alpha blade, and stuff like that in the air too, right? But now, the down, down input for 5 buttons, right? Then we have quarter circle back, punch, kick, slash, hard slash, dust, right? So that's 10, right? And we also have reverse DP, punch, kick, slash, hard slash, dust. That means that's room for 15, give or take, different moves, right there. Just by freeing up those inputs, we now have new moves. If you want to get technical, there's also half circle forward. That is another half circle forward input. Now, we would have to only have, well, we missed one button. We missed heavy slash because heavy slash will give you Gamma Blade now, right? So now it's punch, kick, slash, dust. You can't add heavy slash into the mix unless you intend to add overlapping inputs, right? We don't want that. Otherwise, you get a melty blood situation where you get overlapping inputs, which completely can mess up your combo, your pressure, etc., right? So we essentially have access to 19 new special moves. We can throw them into the air as well if you like, and to say the same thing, right? We can add that into the air. And let's say and I'm just speaking just grounded moves, right? So on the air, you have K Alpha Blade, Punch Alpha Blade. Those are both quarter circle forward. You have DP, which would slash, right? And you also have Air Shuriken, which is quarter circle back P. So if you think about it, that's like 4, 8, 12, another 12 or so new inputs you can add to the character, not including down, down in the air, because that'd be kind of bad, right? So think about that. That's a lot of new special moves that could be added into the game because they removed this stuff, right? But not too many people are looking at it that way. They're looking at it as, well, we keep losing things and it sucks, right? So if they brought in the same kit, right, from the older games, you'll just end up having too much of a cluster. It'll be too much of a clusterfuck of moves from Legacy, and now there's a bunch of new moves now, right? And you end up getting the game where it's like Melty Blood, and that's why they split up the moons, right? If they added all these things to like the single character, there's too many freaking moves. There's too many moves to put into one character. And as someone who mains Aoko in Melty Blood, let me tell you, that character's complicated as hell. And like to add all that stuff into her as one character, that's too much for a single player to learn. It doesn't mean people won't learn how to do it. It just means there will be less people to learn how to do it because it's too complicated. It's too many things to do. Not to mention with overlapping inputs, that's going to make the execution barrier even higher and push people away from really wanting to get into the meat and potatoes of the character, right? So they're freeing up these inputs to add new moves. It's just not in the game currently. If you keep the old kit, you only get to add so much more without overbloating the kit, which is a big problem in Tekken. A lot of people complain, new players, intermediate players who pick up and play Tekken, they're like, man, there's so many moves, But my biggest thing is with simplicity comes complexity, and with complexity comes simplicity. I've said this shit since the dawn of time with me playing fighting games, right? And with simplicity comes complexity, right? Look at how simple Street Fighter V is, right? But what's the hardest part? Where's the complexity? It's not the execution. It's the strategy. It's the mind games. It's where you have to position yourself, right? That's the complex part. Where do I need to be in conjunction of this guy? How can I get the situational anti-air? What about this frame trap here? It works against this character. It might work against this player. You know what I'm saying? It might work against this matchup. It might work against this, insert something might work against this kit, this player, this matchup, this current situation, this anti-air, this air-to-air. That's where the game gets more complex. So just because the game has a simple design, it doesn't mean, one of the hardest things to do in fighting games is decision making, right? So you see where I'm coming from? So with simplicity comes complexity. So now let's look at it from the other end. With complexity comes simplicity, right? Let's look at Tekken. Tekken has big overbloated kits, but people normally use a maximum of 10 to 15-ish moves, barring your character. Generic jabs, down forward 1, down 4, whatever your good low is, you know what I'm saying? Your punish tools, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, We'll take it even to a Guilty Gear standpoint, right? We'll take it from a Guilty Gear standpoint. Chip has all these options, but I'm going to boil it down to 5 to 6 different ones to make sure that my neutral play is solid. I'm not giving up anything. I'm not going to give up no real major positional advantages. I'm not going to focus on, I have 10 million options. I need to try to use all 10 million in one match. No, you're not going to use 10 million options in one match. Your brain can't process all those options in one freaking match. It's not happening, period. You're going to adapt to the situation and simplify your decision making. You're going to streamline your decision making. You're going to streamline your combos. You're going to streamline everything to make sure you can get the dub, period. No questions asked. It doesn't matter what game you play. Dragon Ball, Guilty Gear, Street Fighter, all the same. You're going to streamline your thought process, your decision making to win, period. Because at the end of the day, it is about winning. Right? And that's from a competitive aspect, right? From a fun aspect, who wants to lose all day? Because you have to think about so many complex things. In Guilty Gear, what turns people away is you have to think about so much. Instant blocking this move. Hell, a lot of people don't even know if you instant block in the air, you get your air options reset. People don't even know that. So how is it that you want a game to be super complex, but you can't even execute ABC? You can't even repeat the entire Guilty Gear alphabet, but you want complex things. Most people can't execute the basics in very difficult games. It's not easy. But then when you make the game quote unquote too simple, then it's like nothing else is there. But no one takes into consideration strategy, spacing, how to counter poke, how to space yourself properly, how to whiff punish. The general consensus of fighting game players can't even whiff punish properly in any game. They can't even whiff punish. Like, it's the most fundamental part of a fighting game, and people can't execute that, but they want to do the flashy, cool, sick combo that they saw on Twitter, but you won't get that way. You can't get to that point without even hitting your basics. It is next to impossible. No good player in their right mind worth their salt will ever let you land that shit. That's not to say you can't land it with proper timing, spacing, but remember, listen to what I'm saying. You need spacing, you need timing, the position needs to be proper, where they're at on screen, you need the resources. Maybe this is on a big hitbox character, can you land it there? Is that possible for you to do? These are the things you have to think about. So before you can even think about landing that, and it's a big boy combo, you need to know that you can do that. Some people be like, oh man, I did that combo, it doesn't work on this character. Yeah, no shit. No shit. Did you even think about that? Oh, this doesn't work on small hitbox characters. Yeah, but I thought the cool combo was supposed to hit everybody. Nope. It don't always work that way. It don't always work that way. You have to know who it works on and why it works on. Simple as that. He got counter hit this way. Okay, that means, now let's think about it from the standpoint of it being complicated. I hit you with this counter hit thing. So now let's bring up the dial, right? Option 1. I can do this combo right here that does max damage, but I don't get Oki. Option 1. Option 2, I can do this combo that does good damage and gives me Oki. Okay, option 2. Option 3, I can opt for full screen corner carry or corner carry from here, but I still don't get Oki, but I get good damage. Okay, option 4, I do corner carry combo, drop the combo midway through for Oki setup. Okay, cool, that's option 4. Option 5, I do single hit here, burst bait. Okay, fine. Option 6, I do single hit here, see if he's gonna burst, and then air throw. Okay, option 7. Okay, I'm gonna go for the combo, and I'm gonna do burst bait combo in between here to scale my damage and give me good positional advantage. Option 8, I can fucking go on for days on this shit. I could go on for fucking days on this shit. The average person does not understand these options. This is why I'm saying with complexity comes simplicity, and with simplicity comes complexity. You have to think about these things. This isn't as simple as do this cool combo. Or like, I get this and this is supposed to be my reward. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. There's too many variables. There's too many variables. And if you're not going to consider the variables on the strength of just wanting to have the cool thing, then like the game gets lost in the sauce. I get both sides. Having hella options is fun for labbing and exploring characters' options, but I think having too much could break a beginner's brain. That's my point. Guilty Gear Strive right now is designed to push people to learn how to play the game without having to training mode. They said it in the developer backyard. People did not even really use the tutorial, and the people on the lower floors weren't even using special moves. They were just pressing buttons. So to them, what they did in the tutorial was good because they can now expand on those core concepts in the mission mode. So if you want to understand the game on a basic level, this is the tutorial. If you want to learn more stuff, these are the missions. It's separated that way so that if you don't want that, you don't have to be, it doesn't have to be pushed down your throat. It doesn't have to be rammed in your face. This is what you got to do. Because people don't care about that stuff. Some people are just trial by fire. They just want to sit down, press buttons, play the game, and just go ham. You know what I'm saying? I would say long combos isn't the golden grail of complexity either. That gets streamlined in a systematic gameplay quick, run the program, of course. So it's like, dude, you gotta jump off this. We have to jump off this thing that like, there's no sauce. Decision making is sauce, period. And I promise you, man, the amount of players right now who lack critical thinking skills to do well in tournament is high. Because people can just hit you one good time and do their big damage and don't have to think anymore after that. And then they just rinse and repeat and do it again. they're making a game that requires you to be smart about like your positional advantages, your screen advantages, where you are, how much meter you have. Like, if people always say fighting games are like chess is boring as shit. But and chess has a lot of tried and true strategies. But it is still a dynamic game of mind versus mind. Positional advantages versus non-positional advantages. You know, how can you get the checkmate? That's important. And yeah, sauce will definitely be found over time. Like, sauce will be found over time. People said Dragon Ball had no sauce. Come on, man. All them crazy combos people found out as the time went by. Oh man, Dragon Ball, such a simple game, dude. You just pick your 3 characters, do A, B, C auto combo in the super, freaking 30%, 40%, man. It's just too easy. Look at the stuff people are doing now. Switch combo, like just me playing Broly, man. Like Super Broly does mad damage. Oh, you whiffed? 5mm EX freaking ground pound? Die. And you gotta hold that. That's your mistake, you know? That's your bad, big dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, it's crazy tag combos. Remember, there's no sauce. You know, base Goku, freaking, not base Goku, SSJ had double super. You know what I'm saying? All these double super combos and stuff like that. You know, Gohan had all these crazy leg combos. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Get out of here with that nonsense, man. That only gets streamlined if the most damaging combo is also the one that gives the best Oki and the best wall carry. I mean, it's different per character. So yeah, that's true. But look at a game like Tekken 7. Every character in the game has wall carry. Every character in the game can damn near wall to wall you. Some have it easier than others. Looking at characters like Lars, maybe even Brian. You know, those are 2 that come to my mind immediately. But like, everyone has a way to corner carry you in that game. So like, it depends on the game and also depends on the character. Some characters have just easy corner carry. Nina, if you're willing to execute slaps, you can carry anybody. You can carry somebody from fucking Narnia to freaking Chicago. All right? You know what I'm saying? And yeah, if there's no sauce, how come how come different regions play differently? Yeah, that's true. So you see what I'm saying, right? This is where we're having this discussion. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just sauce. You know, it's more than just that. Like, man, we're gonna continue. It's a lot of ground to cover, y'all. So we're not done yet. We got a lot of ground to cover, and I appreciate everybody being here watching this with me. I wasn't originally gonna stream today. But like, here we are, man. This has been riding my brain since yesterday, since this was brought to my attention. So I'm like, I want to just dead this and look at it with everybody and be objective. You know what I'm saying? So if you're tuning in, you're gonna be in for a wild ride. But let's move forward. I kind of blame some of these narratives because all we have is online, but the FGC has been on this for quite some time, for sure. But which games have sweet sauce versus savory sauce? Hey man, that depends on you, dog. I mean, even some of the most basic combos, if they're hit in a specific way, can look really cool. It depends on the situation. Like, if the situation was really bad and someone got hit a specific way, and it's like, man, he took that basic B&B and turned it into this. You know, there's that too. Sometimes the sauce is about how games and players interact. Like for example, Street Fighter 4. You watch high-level Street Fighter 4, swaggy combos only really come from like Eva Ryu and maybe like, there's a few characters that got some pretty cool stuff. But it's the decision making that gets you like, oh my gosh, wow, what a read, that was crazy. Yo, Snake Eyes did this crazy jump splash mix up and blah 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 into like 360. You know what I'm saying? It's the storyline you get to see from players interacting with each other, right? Quick example, really fast, and I'm gonna get back to clicking to this. All right, quick one, and one that comes to my mind right now. Speaking on Snake Eyes, Xian tried to counterpick that boy with freaking Sagat, and he sauced that boy up hard body with Zangief still. And big ups to Xian, great player. Big ups to Snake Eyes, one of my favorite players. But like, he outplayed him in a bad matchup. Is that not sauce? Is the decision making that he made in that matchup to just stick with Zangief in a matchup like that he knows is a bad matchup for him? Is that not sauce? Is how he outplayed, right? Is how he outplayed Xian not sauce? Really? Is him outplaying a bad matchup with an amazing player from Singapore not cool? Is like, where is it? He did low short, stash short, you know what I'm saying? EX green hand, baby, that's all he need. But what comes after that EX green hand? That's the sauce. Like, yo, is he gonna get scooped? Is he gonna lariat that boy? Is he gonna meaty down jab him? Is he gonna bait the DP? It's the decision making right then and there is what changes everything. That's the sauce. decision making is sauce. Not just stand roundhouse, jump roundhouse, back fierce, forward fierce, jump back roundhouse again, sweep, activate, right? Towards fierce, low strong, EX Hadouken, dash cancel, stand jab for the reset, low short for the next hit. Like, bro, that shit's cool too. But like, decision making is hot just as well. We all reach the edge of our seat when we see someone make a crazy read or make a great punish on a whiff. Like when the chips are down and someone has low HP versus someone's like 30 or 40%, and they're at the edge of you're at the edge of your seat, like, oh my gosh, is he really gonna land this? Can he make this comeback? Can he whiff punish? And you see a series of events that happen, and it just makes you just lose your freaking mind. You're like, yo, he really made the comeback. Like, that's an amazing. If you tell me right now in stream chat, if you've ever watched a tournament or EVO for that matter, or you were live at a tournament, much less EVO or any other tournament, where you're in the crowd with a bunch of other people who were on the edge of their seat watching the underdog come up and top 8, and you didn't lose your mind on a simple play, I call you a fucking liar. 100% to your face, right here. 100% liar, because I know your favorite game, you're sitting at the edge of your seat watching your favorite player do work. And that stuff gets you hype. That's the shit that gets you going. Decision making is important too. Cool combos are a part of the decision making process as well, man. But we have to understand that the games, like the psychological process, the decision making and stuff like that, I'm gonna keep pushing decision making because that is very important. That stuff, it just blows your mind, right? Like, to the point to where we'll take it to a step back even further. Another example, and then I'll get back to it. I remember when Justin Wong, this is like a famous one, right? Justin Wong said, you know, Adon had no combos and stuff like that. And GamerB did so much work that same year. GamerB was like the dude, right? And all he did was low short, low jab, jab, rising Jaguar. Low short, jab, jab, rising Jaguar into dash up, mix up. Or jump, medium kick, cross up. Like, come on, man. Come on. And he bodied so many people. He beat Mike Ross. I think he beat Ricky. I forget his run, but I know he had an amazing run. You know, and he was on a terror after that. You know what I'm saying? After that Evo, everyone's like, yo, GamerB, yo, GamerB, yo, GamerB. And how many people ran to go pick freaking Adon? Doing low short, low jab, rising Jaguar. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's just keep that shit funky fresh. Come on, man. Or like the infiltration matchups between, what was it? Infiltration and like, come on, man. I can talk about so many matchups that are just ridiculous. Momochi versus Daigo, Momochi versus Infiltration, Momochi versus Smug, you know what I'm saying? And Smug's a very exciting player to watch in that game. And I always remember that match, and I say it all the time. He was putting that kidney blow in his life, that forward medium punch, like, taking those plus frames and like pushing his advantage. Because you know if Smug hits you, you're gonna see a fucking hot combo, and that's what makes it fun to watch Smug. But what also makes it fun to watch Momochi is how he plays the game, how he plays the neutral. All that stuff is exciting. And I think that these are things that are getting lost in Guilty Gear Strive when people are looking at the game because they want to see the flash. It's like, dude, I want to see the flashy stuff too, but can we just not forget that strategy is an important part of fighting games? Alright, I'm just saying. Justin Wong double super on F Champ to get the win at Evo. I'm just saying, man, like, yo, with like those moments, man, they're fucking amazing moments, man. And I know I sound like I know I sound very hype here, and I might be blowing some people up in the process, but like, just understand that like I've been in the scene for such a long time, and like Guilty Gear is like my favorite game, like 100%. I've played the series from day one, and like I want to see more people playing this game. But I also want people to understand that like there's a different perspective of this game, and we have influencers who are saying certain things that I think it's about time I kind of step in and be objective. You know what I'm saying? I want to step in and be objective. And I know I'm very passionate about Guilty Gear. I am. I say all this Guilty Gear stuff and I have all these KOF posters behind me, but that also is a testament to, you know, who I am. You know, my namesake is a KOF character. Big ups. Look at, I got 2 K-Dash posters in the back, 2K2, 2001, 13. Like, bro, and I got my Soundwave in the back. I'll let me some Transformers. But, you know, the bottom line is I just want you guys to play the game, and I want you to hear it. I want you to hear it from someone who actually has played the series from start to finish, you know, and I'm still here playing, you know. You have to hear it from someone who's been around. And I think it's about time. So that's why I'm stepping in and saying what I'm saying.